embracing a brighter future. Let's unravel the tapestry of time and uncover the wisdom within. Greetings to everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Shabina, your coordinator for today's enthralling exploration into past life regression therapy session with our today's distinguished uh, guest speaker, Dr. Newton, sir. I would request our President of Association of Counselors and Psychotherapists Nagpur, Dr. K.D. Deshpande, sir, for the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
I'm audible?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Dr. Newton, sir, and all participants. It's a great matter of immense pleasure for all of us that Dr. Newton, sir, is with us today. On behalf of ACPN, that is Association of Counselors and Psychotherapists, Nagpur, I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Newton to address our session. Sir, our association is working in the field of mental health. Association comprises of a team of people working in the area of mental health, such as psychotherapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, and others. Our aim is to bring the awareness among the people about the mental health so that society in general and individual in special should be happy, healthy, and pleasure life. They should spend a pleasure life. So ACPN is working since last 10 years. And our founder president is Dr. Prabodh, who is a renowned spiritual psychotherapist at Nagpur. We regularly arrange various session case studies for the benefit of general public and our members. Today really we are happy to welcome you here, and we have the great inspiring personality like you in this session. I am confident that people will be getting benefited by your session. Thank you. Over to Dr. Shabina.
Thank you, sir. We are here to dive into the mysteries of our past lives and uncover the new mysteries. And for this session, I would like to invite Dr. Anushka Karira ma'am for the introduction of Dr. Newton sir. Anushka ma'am.
Anushka,
so probably not able to join.
Anushka is not there.
We have reached 100.
Okay, we have reached 100, so she might not be able to join.
Oh, okay. So you have introduction?
Yeah, so I'll just go for the introduction.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Brahmarishi Chakrabarti Dr. Newton Kondaveti, MBBS MD, is a medical doctor who realized that everyone has an inner doctor and therefore choose to become soul doctor. Instead of practicing conventional medicine, he is a world-renowned practitioner and teacher of meditation and spiritual science, pioneer in past life regression, future progression, and life between lives regression, internationally acclaimed expert on reincarnation and law of karma, master teacher of rebirthing, breathwork, inner child work, energy medicine, holistic healing, motivational speaker, and the list goes on. Dr. Newton awakened to his life purpose at the young age of 22, and during over 2.5 decades of work, he has been a much sought after mentor by beginners as well as established practitioners and teachers of alternative healing, holistic health, and self empowerment. Although widely recognized as a teacher of teachers, at heart, he is always the internal student, epitomizing the phrase walk the talk, he is a tremendous source of inspiration to all because he constantly practices what he preaches. He has traveled to more than 120 countries and touched the lives of millions of people by teaching meditation, prompting vegetarianism, training facilitator in comprehensive, holistic, therapeutic processes, and conducting self empowerment workshops. Dr. Newton, sir, has spontaneously recalled several of his past incarnations at Takshashila University, and the insight thus gained by him have served as the main inspiration for the vision and mission of Quantum Life University. QLU is the vision of Brahmarishi Chakravarti Dr. Newton Kondaveti sir. And interestingly, the inspiration for this amazing vision came from his past life memories. One of his most profound past life vision is of an Acharya teaching Buddhist wisdom at the ancient university of Takshashila. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shabina, Dr. K.D. Deshpandeji. Namaskar, and thanks for inviting me onto this platform, this session, which is organized by ACPN, Association of Counselors and Psychotherapists, Nagpur. I appreciate all the work that all of you as a teamwork doing, uh, in the field of mental health.
Yes.
Is one of the very important aspects, which is an emerging right now. It's a very important for people uh, around the globe. There's so much of stress and people going through conflicts, which is resulting into some kind of mental imbalances, mental disturbances, behavioral issues. And right now, I'm going to today speak on this very interesting topic, my favorite topic, the science of past life regression, the healing science of past life regression. And, how this all began is when I began my meditation practice, which was introduced by my guru, Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji. A simple practice called Anapanasati meditation. So during the practice, I have several visions of previous incarnations. So one of them already Dr. Shabina introduced me uh, about a past life memory in Takshashila University, which was a big source of inspiration in this life for me. So today I'm going to touch upon how the mental health and also this science, which is an emerging science, is going to contribute towards the mental health, psychological health. So this is the 30 years of my discovery, research, and delving in this field of past life regression therapy. So I have certain experiences. I have experiences with many subjects when I conducted past life regression sessions, whatever the experiences they went through, which brought certain transformation and healing and certain kinds of positive effects in their lives. So I'm going to share all of that. So many of us, we wonder sometimes, do really we have a reincarnation? Do we really uh, reincarnate? We come back again into new life? Do all of us have only one single life? So this is a big question mark to almost everyone who ever is born incarnated, irrespective of culture, caste, creed, nationality, around the globe. As a human being, we all have this very important question. So, in India, we speak a lot about reincarnation. If we open Bhagavad Gita, we know almost so many slokas, talks about, law of karma and reincarnation, which was delivered by uh, Sri Krishna Paramatma, Lord Sri Krishna. And we know when we open the Buddhist literature, Buddhist scriptures, we also realize Buddha talked about Jati Smaran and Jataka tales of his past lives, which were called as Jataka tales. So he talked about past life memories, and also Jainism. Lord Mahavir also talked about law of karma and law of reincarnation. No, almost many of the ancient scriptures in Bharat Desh, we always speak about reincarnation and law of karma. What, from my findings and my research into this field, I can say that without understanding the reincarnation and the law of karma, we will not be able to see the big picture of our life. Somewhere, certain missing pieces of puzzle of our life will be there. So, this understanding about past life memories, the memories our soul always carry, and also law of karma, it brings such a holistic understanding to all of us. It makes so much sense. Even logically thinking, it makes so much sense. So, dear friends, I have prepared few slides to share with you. Certain visual slides will definitely will be more helpful to understand these concepts. So QLU is Quantum Life University, which is the reincarnation of the ancient Takshashila University. We are rebuilding it in Hyderabad. So warm welcome, dear friends. So today we're going to understand about the whole science of past life regression, and particularly the healing science, the therapeutic science of past life regression, because there's so much that is research around the globe. It's not just only Bharat Desh speaks about it. Even many Western countries, even very scientifically advanced countries, there are pioneers in this field of past life regression. So after few decades of this work in this field, I don't need. I can say that I don't even think that whether reincarnation is true or not, but I always get surprised seeing the effects of past life regression, the therapeutic effects, how much it benefits people. Whether it is true or not, it is the research, and also it is really at this point of time, I can tell all of you that it's we don't need to even believe in reincarnation to be benefited from this process called past life regression. There are many who are non-believers. They say, "Oh, I don't believe about reincarnation because I come from this background." So still, it has an impact if they go through a past life regression session. So My first case study is on my grandmother after I explored my own past lives, which emerged spontaneously during meditation. I was suspecting my own visions because I thought it's all like a hallucinations, and my brain is producing these images which were unbelievable. I could never even think about myself as a Buddhist monk or somewhere I had lifetimes, where I lived in Europe. So I could never even imagine such things. But I wanted to do some kind of research. So at that point of time, when I shared these experiences with my grandmother, she was very curious. She wanted to explore her past lives. So I conducted my first past life regression session in 1991. So very easily, effortlessly, she was regressed. Regression, the word that means going back again into the forgotten past. She was regressed into the childhood memories first, and then even forgotten childhood memories. Mostly we remember after 3 years or 4 years of our childhood age, we'll be able to remember certain memories like a birthday or a childhood home and all that. But before that, the earliest memories that we had, for example, when you're crawling baby, when you are in the cradle, and when you are held by your mother and nourishing you, nurturing you, and we don't have those memories at all. We don't remember. But during regression, she was regressed into those memories. She was narrating, describing about the connection with her mom. And then further, I regressed her into the womb memory. So surprisingly, she was narrating, describing about how the fetus, as a fetus, she was experiencing certain things inside the womb. It is such a surprise for me. Even a fetus, which was the organs still not yet developed, but still there are certain feelings. She was feeling so joyful being connected to her mother. So it means that there is life inside the mother's womb, even from the formation of the zygote, even first few weeks, certain organs like heart, nervous system, and certain gastrointestinal tract, and all these things are developed. So it's not fully developed, but still there is life. There are feelings. There is consciousness. So my grandmother surprised me with this, and then when I asked her to go further back, much earlier than the womb memory, and she was regressed into a past life memory, and she was narrating. I thought she will now going to fabricate a story and tell a story, um, a glamorous like a queen, and she's going to narrate like that. And it's not like a glamorous life, but she was just ordinary, uh, you know, just a housewife, and she was living in a kind of a hut with two children, husband, and in a village atmosphere. So one day she was carrying water from the well in that village, and it's the evening time. There was a snake bite, and she died of a snake bite. So this was, you know, her story of that she narrated the past life, and she was actually emoting a lot of emotional release that was happening. She was crying because she had two young children when she was dying, and she has so much grief leaving behind those two children. It's not that she was crying because she's dying. Her grief, her sadness is about the children who are very, very young. So she identified one of the children in that life, the second child. She identified as myself in this life as. her grandson, but in that past life, I was her son. So in this life, the connection is I was sent to my grandmother. I was brought up by my grandmother when I was a child. She was taking care of me like a mother. Whatever that was unfulfilled for her, whatever the story that is unfinished in that life, past life, she completed that in this life. And so this was my very first case study. So I didn't believe at that time my own experiences or my grandmother's past life experience. I didn't believe because coming from the medical background, in the medical textbooks, we always speak about, the field of psychiatry, we speak about hallucinations, any visual hallucination, any auditory hallucination is one of the indicators, signs of the schizophrenia and some kind of mental disturbances. So I was very suspicious about all these experiences. So I need a concrete evidence. So my second case study, at that time, I was a meditator by that time. And so we used to have a kind of meditation gatherings. So one of the meditators who was a beginner who came, used to come. I met him many times at the time, 1991. So he was very curious. He said, I want to do this past life regression. Please conduct on me. And he requested. And when I conducted this session on him, he was regressed into a lifetime where he was a Russian. He was speaking Russian language, which he had not learned in this life. He was writing the script alphabets of the language. Later, language experts confirmed we could record the CD play, the tape recorder, cassette tape recorder used to be there at that time. So we recorded that and it was validated. They confirmed that one of the seniors in the medical college, he has done MBBS in Russia and he is doing internship in the college where I was studying, Kurnool Medical College. So he confirmed it's a Russian language. So for me, that's really a proof of reincarnation. Anybody who wanted to speak an unknown language, we need to be trained in that language, at least an year, a few months. So this person was not exposed to that language in this life. So he was able to speak that language. That's for me, it opened my mind. First time I thought, whatever our ancient scriptures in Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads or Vedas or whatever the scriptures of India, and there's so much we speak about reincarnation. I was very open to do more research. So I was conducting more sessions. Initially, I was a researcher. I want to just know more about reincarnation, whether it is true or not. I didn't know about at that time the therapeutic or the healing effects of past life regression sessions. So at that time, there are many people who could validate those past life memories. For example, an engineer who had certain symptoms like glaucoma and irritable bowel syndrome, and also used to get panic attacks in the night because a nightmarish dream used to come, and it is so disturbing for him. And the dream is about always an aeroplane crashing, and there was some air disaster. That was the dream. So this dream was recurrent, repeated so many times. So he wanted to explore his past life, and I told him that whatever that content from subconscious mind surfaces, just allow that, not to analyze during the session. So he was given clear instructions about how the session proceeds. And when he got regress, he was getting certain kind of images. He was narrating about those images. For example, he said it is Royal Dutch Airlines, 1953, March 27, specific date and year he has given. And he said he is a pilot. There's a co-pilot sitting beside of him, and there were 45 passengers boarded in that aircraft, and they took off from the Munich airport heading towards Amsterdam. And there was turbulent weather conditions. There's a loss of navigation control is lost, and there was an air disaster. 45 passengers died, and the last moments he was frozen and was feeling guilt for not saving the lives of 45 passengers. No fault of him, but he felt so much guilt because when the this aircraft is colliding the building, there was a small boy standing on the top of the building. He was frozen with the fear because it's about to collide, about to uh, fall on that building, and that boy was so much terrified in that moment. And as a pilot, he was looking at that and he felt so much guilt in that moment. And uh, later, after the session, he said, from childhood, I have strange fascination. I always, any aeroplane pictures, any stamps. In India, we have many stamps and aeroplane stamps, all that he used to collect. Aeroplane toys he collects, and always wanted to become a pilot also in this life from childhood, but he was disqualified because he had glaucoma, medical condition, high condition, so he could not join as a pilot. And he said maybe because of that, I was hallucinating. I was imagining myself as a pilot. That's why maybe this dream is coming. I told you got certain clues. Like you said, it's Royal Dutch Airlines. You have specific year, date. You have got that, and 45 passengers. You said all those details, and even the aircraft model he was describing, the model and all that. And Royal Dutch Airlines is called KLM now. So he contacted them. He could do some research, and there was validation that's done. Actually, there was an air disaster that happened exactly the same year, whatever that he saw the same day, and 45 passengers along with pilots, everyone died in that air disaster. So after that, strangely, all these symptoms that he had disappeared. Recurrent nightmarish dream did not come again. And also, he was, let me actually stop sharing first so that I can. So there are no panic attacks. That nightmarish dream stopped. And then his irritable bowel syndrome, all the symptoms gone, and glaucoma was reversed. There's no increased intraocular pressure. So he was not, he restored completely from all the symptoms that he had. So it's strange to explain. It's very, very difficult to scientific using the logic. We can't explain the mechanism of how this healing happened. So, but it happened. So at that time, I was convinced that there's not just past life regression is not just a fancy thing, like just exploring, like a research. It's more than that. There are certain carryovers, like certain things that we are carrying, either emotional baggage or certain things from past lives into this current life. Even though past lives, our body is completely destroyed, dust turned to dust, and all the five elements we disintegrate. Our body is disintegrated, but there is something called astral body, soul consciousness, which will not die. So when we are coming back in a new body, this body is like a hardware. all that, whatever that memories and all that experiences, our soul always carries it. So when we reincarnate, we're coming back with all that experiential knowledge that we had in other lifetimes. So many such experiences really opened my mind further. So my approach at that time a little change. My wife, Dr. Lakshmi, I met during Karnool Medical College mass studies. My classmate, she was my classmate, and we explored some past lives where we were monks together in a Buddhist monastery, and also several lifetimes we shared, and that's why there's no coincidences in life. We meet people, we resonate with certain people, and because we have that soul connections in other lifetimes. So this really made me to get more interested. My wife, both of us were conducting past life regression sessions very actively from that time. So we'll show certain principles now about the science of past life regression. So past significant memories have an influence on the present moment. We think past is already over. Gatam gataha, we say in India, Gatam gataha. Past is over. Why do you think about the past? Past is over, but really it's not over for many. Subconscious mind still carries because there's a story which is not yet finished. There's something unresolved in the past. That's why whatever is unresolved, unfinished, incomplete, our psyche tries to bring up situations. Again, those symptoms will come back, and till we resolve it, it repeats. So, though our past is over, the energetic imprints of the past are still carried forward into this lifetime. That's why we have fears, we have certain mannerisms and behavioral patterns, certain unique traits, unique characteristic features, which are very, very unique. So past life regression is a process of accessing buried, frozen memories from the distant past in order to heal the present moment. So this is very important. The purpose is to say goodbye to the past. Many think that, why past life regression? In this current life, we have so many issues, so many problems. Why we need to look into the past, which is already over? Why should we look into that? But why we look into the past is to retrace our steps, complete what is incomplete, and gain more clarity about why we have certain thoughts, certain feelings, certain fears, certain symptoms now in the present moment. So, in order to heal the present moment, this is going to be so helpful. And many of us, we keep struggling to live in the present moment. Something always we are distracted either into past or in the future. We project into future, but past life regression has a tremendous role to play to uh, bring a very deep healing so that everyone can actually be more peaceful and live in the present moment. So the past unresolved memories are translated into a limiting thought or limiting belief and a frozen fear, which will draw similar events, situations, and circumstances. We say there's an old saying, history repeats. Whatever the history that which is not understood, which is not resolved, it is going to repeat. So even our past history, we all have reincarnation history. This also have a tendency to repeat. So the pattern is repeated till it is addressed and resolved. There is a certain resolution uh, that is achieved using past life regression as a tool. So past life regression is a process of letting go of buried, painful, traumatic memories and the integration of them. So there are certain memories which are very labeled as traumatic, painful memories. Sometimes we are very scared of them even to remember. We try to forget. We try to not remember. But still, whatever that we try to exclude, it tries to come back. It tries to be included in our life through certain symptoms and through certain disturbances. So certain principles of past life regression I'm going to introduce to you. Will be helpful. So the first principle, the time is non-linear actually. That's why it's people can explore the times which already is over. For example, 19th century or 18th century, 16th century, even 2000 years back. So when reincarnation memories are explored using past life regression sessions, many people, they even prehistoric times, cave men, those memories, and they're really very interesting experiences because they're able to tap into those memories because the time is non-linear. That means it's not linearly arranged. Generally, we think past, present, and the future, but the time is simultaneous. This is what even our current emerging science, the quantum science, quantum physics is able to tell that time is non-linear. And the second important principle is past life regression is not just viewing of past lives or uh, watching like a movie. It's not that. It's a therapeutic process. It's a very clinical process. It's like our subconscious mind, which holds all these painful or some disturbing memories. We identify first those root cause memories. Whatever symptom that we have, we trace the root cause for it. So this step is called identification. The second step that we achieve in the past life regression session is disidentification. Not only we explore, relive the experience of that in the past life, significant memories, we also dissociate, detach from that memory, disidentify from that memory because that memory is already over. We consciously going to process and then we disidentify from it. The third step is called transformation because what is the impact of that trauma on a person? Because it is going to affect in several ways. We will be having certain beliefs. We carry certain beliefs. No one helps me. I'm a loner. I'm a lonely person. And I'm very vulnerable. I'm a victim. I'm betrayed. These kind of beliefs are as a result of our experiences of these past lives. And also, we have certain deep rooted fears. So, those things in the third stage of past life regression, we transform them. This is what is really very important step in the past life regressions. The third principle is called Sutra of Tripolarity. It means whatever our psyche is a word that's used by Sigmund Freud, Carl Gustav Jung, and the whole lineage of the psychologists commonly use this word psyche, which is the subconscious and whatever this unconscious, uh, in us, which stores these kind of memories, even archetypal memories or collective memories. Carl Gustav Jung talked about this collective unconscious, even memories which are collective memories. So whenever some trauma is occurring, the first thing that happens is your psyche registers that memory, means something is processed by your uh, psyche. And if that is the depth and intense trauma, the frozen, fears that occurs in that moment, it has an impact on our psyche in that moment. So there's a conflict that is formed in that moment. In that moment, a person is going through a conflict. For example, uh, someone met with an accident. It's a physical trauma. Not only physical trauma is occurring, but there is an emotional trauma. There's a fear that is being aroused in that moment. There's a great fear, and the body is going through the shock. And for example, in that accident, you are all alone and no one is there in that moment. Nobody noticed you. We feel lonely. We feel fearful about that the survival in that moment. So immediately your brain also, which is wired, connected to your psyche. Psyche can be called as the software part of our whole organism. Brain is the hardware. So the operators were brain, all the neuronal centers, uh, you know, all the centers that we have, neuronal cells that we have in the brain has a very, very specific organs, which are, those centers are going to have the brain relays, controlling operators. This is the controlling center, controlling tower, you can say. Then a specific organ with a symptom is going to be affected. This is a beautiful principle in that's well researched. There was a scientist by name Dr. Hammer, Dr. Reich Georg Hammer, a German doctor and oncologist who researched about these uh, painful memories, traumatic memories from this current life, childhood. And then he came up with this principle called tripolarity. This holds good even for the past lives. I tell you the case study of a person in a past life. He was cut off from his tribe. He was like a refugee. He felt abandoned because he was sent away from his tribe. He was like a punishment kind of thing. He was sent away from the tribe, from his family and from his clan. So immediately psyche registered that as abandonment conflict, a refugee conflict. The brain center, a particular a center which is an embryonic layer, like a brainstem, which controls the kidney. So the organ that's affected for him is actually the kidneys. So what happened is there's a kidney renal failure he went through. There's no pathology before, but this is what happened. In a past life, whatever the trauma that occurred, in this current life, there is a triggering event that happened for this person. This person was working as an engineer. Suddenly, he was sent to a different country and a different kind of corporate job, and completely new. He felt like a refugee, abandoned. There's no clan, no tribe of him, and he felt exactly the same. So whatever that trauma which was unresolved in a past life, the refugee and abandonment conflict, which made him to experience that kind of renal failure. His creatinine and blood urea increase, and even doctors said we have to put you on dialysis. You know, so this is the third principle. So any kind of symptoms that we experience at three levels, this is happening. And Dr. Hammer has done such a beautiful, fabulous research about this. The fourth important principle is called holographic principle, hologram, which means macrocosm in microcosm. Macrocosm is nothing but Brahmand. Brahmande Pindande means whatever is there in the macrocosm, in the big mega universe, macro universe, is there in the micro system, micro or even atom. The whole universe is residing in one single atom. Why? Because whatever the principles which are holding this whole universe also exists in the same thing, exists in one single atom. There are subatomic particles, the quantum energy, the electrons, protons, neutrons, and subatomic particles. There are many unnamed these subatomic particles moving at a great speed, velocity inside the atoms, inside our molecules, and there's a big universe that exists. So this principle also means as above, so below, as within, so without. Means as within, so without. Whatever the stuff that we carried, unresolved emotional baggage or conflicts from the past which we carried, will be again projected out into the outer world in our microcosm of our life. So as within, so without. And the fifth important principle that we need to understand is the law of karma. Karma is impartial, is simple scientific principle, law of cause and effect. Generally, we think causes, all causes must be now and here, it must happen now, but it's not that way. Our past lives, all the root causes are there in the past lives. All the symptoms, the effects we are going through right now in this current life is what we say as visible effects, certain symptoms. But we need to go back into those earlier lifetimes, the root cause. For example, someone has a particular specific phobia or a fear, there is a root cause for that. Someone is going through a financial disaster again and again. For example, he rebuilds everything, he gets a lot of money, but he loses everything. And the people will not return the money that is taken as loan, or certain financial patterns, or could be certain things that are like relationship patterns. The person is always encountering in this life rejections, rejection, betrayal, abandonment, such kind of patterns are set in relationships. So this ancient principle, a very scientific principle, Bharat Desh or ancient rishis have um, stated about this law of karma. Without understanding that law of karma, this life will not make any sense. Otherwise, we feel this is very unfair. Whatever is happening is very, very unfair. I'm such a good person. Why I'm being bullied? Why I'm being hurt by people? What did I do? I didn't do any harm to anybody. If we take into consideration this current life only, we will not be able to see the big picture. We have to look into the past to understand the causes there. So law of karma, it makes so much sense. What we are going through, the situations that we are attracting in this life makes so much sense. And I'll also give some examples from fears and phobias. Some people have fear of heights. Just to tell you some examples, fear of water, fear of fire, because so many lifetimes. For example, you might have heard about Dr. Brian Weiss, who is a psychiatrist, um, who was such a great pioneer in this works, past life regression, hypnotic past life regressions. So he's an author of the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. Millions of copies were sold out throughout the globe, and millions read the book. So one of the patients, she had this phobia for fire. So when she explored a lifetime 2000 years back, she was in the ancient Egypt. She was actually gone through some kind of fire incident and situation where she was burnt alive. So after that, strangely, this kind of fear of fire completely gone for that woman. And claustrophobia, I explored so many people could completely come out of that. There is an unsafety programming that is done because in a past life scenario, a person might have been in a kind of enclosed space where there's no breathing space. It could be a dark dungeon. Someone is forgotten in the dark dungeon. There was a collapse in the building and someone buried under the earth or buried alive, maybe in the ancient times. That was one of the punishments used to be given. So some of the uh, subjects have explored and could understand that there is a uh, unsafe feeling in that particular traumatic memory. The last moments, there is something called safety patterning that is done. So fear of closed spaces. Some people get these kind of symptoms when they enter into lifts which are closed or closed rooms without windows, and they look for the windows and they feel terrible fear. And it's like it's a phobia, not just only a fear, it's a phobia. And also one lady, when she got into the root cause for this claustrophobia, actually she is not the past life memory, it was actually the mother's home. She was stuck in the birth canal where she could not come out, and she was feeling so helpless, struggling to come out of the mother's womb and stuck in the birth canal. And after she relived that traumatic birth memory of her, she could completely come out of that. There was kind of a unsafe feeling in this kind of fears and phobias. Even the fear of water, even fear of being in a crowd, and fear of speaking to people, and fear of animals, even cat or dog or feathered animals, feathered birds, fear of rejection, fear of aeroplanes. So fear of enemies, soldiers, enemies, military, and we have very strange fears, inappropriate, illogical fears. No matter whatever your conscious mind tells you, you that fear won't go away. There's story behind the story to this fear that we are carrying. So our subconscious carries all these, stories. So there's something that was in the field of past life regression called cellular memory. I'm going to share some of them, which forms like an energetic template, astral imprints, like a psychic DNA, where certain traumas that occurred in the past life are they're recreated in this current life. Exactly the same body part is going to be, we develop pathology, some illness, some symptoms will show up. There was a psychiatrist by name Dr. Ian Stevenson who researched about reincarnation memories. Particularly, his area of research was about children remembering past lives. He written authored several books, particularly 20 cases suggestive of reincarnation. In that, he explored a lot of these cellular memory case studies, particularly children who remembered a traumatic death in the past life, and they incarnated in this life with certain kind of birthmarks on their body, scar tissue birthmark. So it's very uncanny to see the correlations. He did like tremendous research. He could go and cross check, and because if it is an immediate past life, if it is 100 years back or something like that, there some autopsy and postmortem report, he could verify some of these things, and very interesting book to read. For example, there's a traumatic death that happens through accidents and suicides, hanging, drowning deaths, and stabbing deaths. And particularly one case study I would share, a young man had this excruciating back pain. He always used to feel very low about himself, low self-image, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, all that. So he was married, but he had a lot of this pain in his back, and he got all the investigations done. There's nothing. There was spinal cord is absolutely fine. There's nothing, no lumbar or damage to his vertebral column or nothing like that. It's absolutely fine. Then when he explored a past life, what came up is he saw himself as a prince who trained in kind of all kinds of arts like martial arts and bow and archery. And he used to be very generous prince, used to help poor people in that kingdom. And he is becoming very popular, and because he's very helpful to the kingdom, all the people in the kingdom. So ministers who were working with the king, his father, used to always create distance between this prince and the king by telling rumors, spreading something rumors about him. So it's like ministers who are working there in that kingdom. They are like a villainy characters in that life. So what showed up as a last image in that life is in the battlefield. He was on the horseback. Someone pushed him from back, and when he fallen down, there's a spear which pierced him, and he was very, very utterly helpless in that moment. He saw that person. It's a minister who killed him, who betrayed. It's not the enemy soldiers who killed him, but his own minister killed him. He felt betrayal in that moment. So he could see that how his body was cremated in that last moments. He was floating free above, hovering above the body. His consciousness, his soul, which is about to depart from that place, he saw himself being cremated. He saw his wife and two children. He saw the whole kingdom, all the people mourning for his death. So in that, actually, he could reframe, like I told, his identification of the root cause for his pain is the past life where he was stabbed, the spear which pierced him, and also he felt helpless, powerless, and also what is called a kind of devaluation. He felt incapable of doing anything in that moment. So disidentification, he could disidentify from that memory. And third thing that happened is he transformed it. He transformed that memory by changing his beliefs, viewing it from the soul's point of view. He saw that his wife is in this life also is a wife. He could identify his father is the same kind of thing. In this life, his relationship with the father is almost similar. His father always disapproves him, and also the same troublemakers also in this life, uh, who also kind of betrayal situations he's going through. He could identify several things from the past life. what's repeating, even it is repeating now in this current life. So he could actually um, put an end to that story. He could forgive those people from that past life. He also understood the past is over. Now I reframe my beliefs that in this life this is completely different, and no more he's feeling like helpless or incapable. He could reframe all that. His beliefs are reframed. So what happened after the session? His back pain completely disappeared. It's dissolved completely. And some more case studies which I can share with you. Breathlessness, respiratory problems, along with fear of heights and water. A past life story where he was pushed from a cliff. He drowned in a pool of water. And Pierce, this already I just now shared about this betrayal feelings and anger, pierced by spear in the battlefield by his own minister, and strong physical violence, beaten to death, chronic fibromyalgia. This is a case study where again this person last moments always is like there's a conflict shock that happens. There is something that a kind of deep, intense emotions, feelings that a person goes through in the spur of the moment. So this person was feeling that devaluation again because uh, which affects the muscles and the bones and ligaments. So chronic fibromyalgia is affecting the muscles. This also got reversed, persecuted and imprisoned and hanged to death. It's fear of speaking the truth because there's so much of powerlessness this person in the past lives he felt. Then he was persecuted and imprisoned and hanged. He has a fear of speaking the truth in this life also. He has developed thyroid problems because there's powerlessness. Died in a hot, sunny desert with no one around. Sun allergy because it's like called attack conflict that he went through in that past life. In this life, just uh, even for a moment, he goes out and there's skin rash that appears, sun allergy. Died in a bomb explosion in a war. This case study of a person who called me and he said, my belief, I come from this religious background that my religion says there's no reincarnation. I told him that it's all right, whatever religious background you're coming from, but you can come with an open mind because he has a strange symptom. He said, I have burning sensation in half part of my body, and it's very, very troubling me for 15 years. And I tried all kinds of therapies, acupuncture, homeopathy, allopathy, all pathies exhausted. And still, I feel very suicidal because this symptom is so distressing. And when I encourage him, if this is going to benefit you, why not you try? He tried with an open mind. I told him, you may consider that these images are need not be past life. You may consider that as a simultaneous life or a kind of metaphorical story. It doesn't matter. So, but when something is coming up from the subconscious, just allow the old story content to be, projected out. So he shared this in the past life. He died in a bomb explosion in a war. Half part of his body is burnt. And after that, reliving that experience, and the symptom has gone completely. So left side of the body experience pain and burning sensation. This symptom completely gone. Poison to death. So in this life, the person is very suspicious whenever he has to eat food. Someone offers him food, he can't take that because he was poisoned to death because there's a betrayal. And his a relative, a family member, uh, because of property issue, They poisoned him to death, stepmother, and made him to die in that life. So this is what the case study. Died because of snake bite, fear of snakes, as well as some circulatory problems like varicose veins. All abdominal organs removed by vultures in the dying moments, last moments. So why I'm sharing this is because the last moments of that past life has so much of like a trauma that is imprinted. When we are reincarnating, that unresolved past trauma, it exactly gets activated in this life. Sometimes it activates exactly the same age, or some triggering memories when they are, appearing in your life. These past life symptoms will emerge. For example, this person, all the organs removed by vultures in the dying moments, dragged by horses in battlefield is psoriatic skin condition, because it's like an attack conflict again, where dermis and epidermis erosions that happen. So friends, these are some of the case studies. So I'm going to stop the presentation now, and I'm going to invite you to interact with me and ask questions or anything that you want to share. You're most welcome. And this is one of the very, very interesting uh, the past life explorations and past life regression is just not uh, for fun. Past life regressions are done. Uh, it's not like that we completely, uh, you know, I'm not recommending that you don't need to stop medication and all that. Uh, no, it is like a parallelly as an adjunct, as a supporting system, a natural healing method, and must try, because there are no claims for saying after past life regression your symptoms all will disappear. It's not like that. I have seen many people, even after seeing past life memories, their symptoms still stayed with them. If you ask me why, I don't know. My own hypothesis is there is a resistance to let go of those memories. There's a huge resistance to transform the memories. Even though they see past lives clearly, still the integration is taking a lot of time for some people. So I invite now
Yes, sir.
one by one can,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can take the questions.
yeah.
Okay. So, Dr. Kavita Gupta, you can unmute and please share your
Yes,
queries.
Dr. Newton, it's really a pleasure to see you once again and hear you. I was very excited when I got the link. I said it's a great blessing always. And let me also share my story with you. A number of past life regressions I've had from you and Rajshekhar, and they have transformed me like anything. They have transformed my life. And thank you so much for it. So my queries are, I want to ask you two questions. One is that, do you have any case studies where you have been able to treat cancer?
One case study I will share, Dr. Kavita. I was traveling in Spain and Barcelona. I was conducting a workshop, Dr. Lakshmi and myself. At that time, there was one lady who had this breast cancer. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was just newly married and she was trying to conceive a baby. They are not successful after 3 years, 4 years marriage. and she attended the workshop, and she didn't initially tell about her symptoms or anything. She explored a past life memory. So when we explored some past lives, so what came up for her is she was a woman in the ancient times, around maybe 16th century. There was an attack on that particular village. The neighboring country, all the soldiers uh, attacked this particular country. All the women were killed, and even the houses, huts are burned. And she was actually at that time, she was holding a baby, and a small baby, and she was nursing the baby, breastfeeding the baby. And after these people, soldiers came inside with a spear, they with a knife, with a sword, they stabbed her. And when she has fallen to the front, and actually at that moment, the child is, you know, taking the milk of the mother, and baby could not survive. And the last moments, this mother was feeling so bad about uh, losing the baby. Her grief, her sadness is about the baby. So after the session, she went back, and we returned to India, and she sent an email saying that my breast tumor uh, disappeared. It's no more there. And she sent all that, all the medical reports and all that. And after 2 months later, she said good news that I conceived. I conceived now, because she written the whole story of the past life, narrating how in that moment she felt that loss. So, for example, cancer of the breast is called nest conflict. Like a child is like breastfed by the mother, and losing the child is like losing from her nest. Something is taken away. She felt so much loss, and also uh, particularly guilt, the guilt for not saving the life of the baby. And she has a fear of losing again. All that she was processed, and what happened is she could conceive the baby. And
Wow. So,
that's the
Doctor,
best part. Yeah.
wonderful. This is great, because I also would then probably like to have a session with you. And Doctor, one thing I wanted to ask you, which has always confused me, when you say all the realities exist simultaneously, that
Yeah.
means the future is also existing now.
Yes.
That means, is it pre-decided, or do we have possibilities of choosing a future? Because if it already exists, it's pre-decided, no? It's already there. So then there's no possibility of choosing
Right.
it.
Yeah. From the linear mind perspective, if we try to understand, we'll be getting so much confused. So this moment, all the infinite possibilities and probabilities of future possibilities and probabilities are existing right now. All that electromagnetic realities exist, and based on this current moment choice, your future is determined.
And then what
This
happens to the other possibilities? Then
because
they stop existing?
yeah, they don't manifest into the physical reality, because you said this. We are collapsing the wave. In the quantum physics, we say the observer participancy phenomena, where whatever that as an observer you're watching an electron, how it is behaving, it is going to behave differently when you are observing. So, and also particularly when you are watchful, we are witnessing something, the electron behavior is changing immediately. It's going to collapse. It's called manifestation. That happens in the physical plane so quickly. Otherwise,
Right.
yeah, because otherwise it stays like an only energetic reality. All the energetic realities are already here, but it's not going to manifest. If it has to collapse into the more material, physical, tangible reality, it has to be, observed as a
Okay.
witness, watch this possibility. Yes, this
Mhm.
is what. And what happens is when we are deciding, making a choice about something, it has an added effect.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's my answer to your question,
Added
Dr. Kavita.
added effect of.
Added effect of quickly manifesting the,
Okay.
yeah,
Fantastic. I mean, it answers both my questions. And Doctor,
yeah.
you're just absolutely great.
You too,
Absolutely
Dr.
beyond words.
Kavita.
Beyond
We
words,
all
Doctor.
too, we all are actually. Absolutely. We are such magnificent beings, such multidimensional beings. Uh, More we understand how magnificent we are, all are. We are actually souls living in these bodies and pretending to be, just physical bodies and pretending to be forgotten. We have not forgotten. Only thing is temporary amnesia that happened. Only thing is we need to remember who we are. Reincarnation memories are nothing but our soul memories, and remembering again, oh, I'm an eternal soul who is coming so many times onto these adventures on this planet Earth. It's endless, and that liberates us really. Thank you, Dr. Kavita. And next question.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. Sir, my request is we can do demo first and then we can take the queries.
Okay.
So
You
it
would
would be
like,
great if we go for a, yeah,
yeah, is it a demo or better demo? Okay. Who would like
demonstration
to,
of the
yeah,
past
who
life.
would like to go through a demonstration?
Yeah, yes, sir.
They
It
can
would be
raise,
great.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
sure.
so she means a group session.
Group session or even demonstration is fine. It's fine. Let's see. Like, let's look at how a memory is stored in our psyche and what kind of beliefs, what kind of fears, emotions, and all that. How this three-step process, we're going to look at that. Would like to, can you select Dr. Sabina?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So can we take the queries later after the
Yeah,
demonstration?
queries later
Yeah,
we can take. Yeah.
yeah.
Dr. Shabina, Dr. Newton is saying that he would like to give a demonstration for one person and he wants you to select who that person would be.
O- Okay, so it won't be for all the participants?
Uh, Demonstration generally is like a one person. Everyone
Mhm.
watches that. You want
Okay.
a group session, that can be done in a
Okay,
group
so we'll
session
go
for
for
everyone.
the group sessions.
Group session.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So generally a group session, past life regression, we explore a positive memory because it's like a surgery that we are opening the
I
subconscious memories.
understand. Yes,
If it is not closed properly, it will have an effect. It's better
yes,
that we explore something very positive.
yeah,
Okay, it's
definitely,
better.
sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll go for the group session.
yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, dear friends, all of us, let us. It's a kind of a brief tour, a brief session. It's not going to be like a generally when I conduct a session, it's a 1.5 hours, 2 hours, but it's going to be a very short, sweet exploration of past life memories. So just make yourselves prepared and ready, and you may close your eyes, either sitting down, lying down, whatever posture is comfortable for you, and Give yourself the permission to go into this exploratory session, exploring the subconscious memories, particularly memories of a past life where you had a positive talent or a skill. We have so many lifetimes where we were extremely talented, wise, and having a certain kind of knowledge, a particular skill. It could be very, very ancient past lifetime. Right now, as you close your eyes and take a nice deep breath, and every breath that you inhale and exhale, you tell yourself, I'm willing to explore a past life, a positive past life, which is going to help me in my evolution, in my current life right now, settling down into this beautiful state of relaxation. Allow your body to completely relax, consciously allowing your awareness to move from top of your head all the way down through the body parts, the head and neck, your shoulders, your back, your abdomen, your chest, your hips and your thighs and your knee joints and lower legs, all the way down to your ankles and your feet. Allow your awareness to move through all your parts of the body and going into deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper relaxation. You can multiply this relaxation intentionally. As you intend to relax, multiply this relaxation by 10 times deeper than before. You can feel this relaxation, waves and waves flowing down and down into your body parts, going further deep and deep and deep into this relaxation. Any sounds that you hear from surroundings at this moment will only help you to go into a deeper relaxation. At this moment, I would like you to send out your mind to a beautiful place of nature, the place of relaxation for you. It could be mountains, rivers, ocean, forest, could be any place. In your imagination, send out your mind, project yourself to that beautiful place of nature, your favorite place of nature. Once you are there, in your favorite place of nature, feel what you feel, see what you see, experience that beautiful nature. using all your senses, the sights, the smells, the sounds, the touch, the texture, colors, and your footsteps. Feel your footsteps walking into that nature. Imagine yourself in that beautiful nature. Become one with that nature, become part of the nature, completely relaxing, going deeper and deeper. At this moment, your subconscious mind is accessible to you. All the memories that are stored in your subconscious, particularly in this session, you will be exploring positive memories. I would like you to now turn your memory backward, going back and back, particularly to your childhood memories, something which is very pleasant that happened, something very, very positive that happened when you were a child. Less than 15 years, less than 10 years. Let the images, pictures, impressions, experience of that significant, positive, pleasant memory flash into your mind. I'd like you to notice the images, pictures, and feel the sensations. Notice how you're feeling in that positive memory. What kind of feelings that this memory is bringing to you? Are you inside the home or outside? Where exactly are you located in that particular precise memory? Is it daytime or evening time? In this positive memory, what are you doing and what are you experiencing? Are you alone or are you with people? Just feel. Experience that feeling, state, the very positive feelings that you felt in that particular memory. Right now, your subconscious is much more willing, much more ready to unfold more of these pleasant, positive memories. Even much earlier memories when you are much younger, less than 5, very first memories with your mother, father, brothers, sisters, very earlier memories, even pre-verbal, even before you learn to speak, before you even learn to walk, before you learn to talk. Allow yourself to go further back. Very pleasant, very positive. Allow yourself go further back. to the time when you are in utero. At any point of time, any kind of distress, any kind of unpleasant sensation, or any intense feeling or emotion that you feel, know that you always can detach, disidentify from that memory. You can be a witness watching that memory. You can do that. Allow yourself now to explore the in utero state when you are a fetus inside the womb. It's so fascinating. Notice your connection with your mom. Notice that best feeling, experience that you had when you are inside the womb of your mother. Beyond time and space, you can have a snapshot of the memory of your mother's womb, registering, noticing, feeling, experiencing. At this moment, you are ready, more ready to go further back into a past life when you are in a different body, a different time period, a positive life, a lifetime where you had significantly made a difference. It could be very successful life, could be a very happy life, could be very talented life, a life where you made a great progress. I'd like you to now trust this process. As I count 10 to 1, allow yourself to move backwards through a time tunnel, a portal. It's like a tunnel, a dark tunnel, visualizing, picturizing, and imagining yourself in this portal, a dark tunnel. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like to imagine yourself there now in this tunnel. 10. This is the time tunnel which can take you back into a past life. Very positive, very pleasant life. 9, 8. Imagine yourself there inside the tunnel, moving towards that light at the end of the tunnel. Your own pace and speed, trusting the process, knowing that it is safe, knowing that you are supported, held by your invisible guides, masters, and beings of light. There are divine forces which are holding you, supporting you at this moment. 7, tuning into the memories of a past life where you had something very positive, talent or a skill, knowledge, or could be a life where you had great qualities, a very confident or very happy life where you progressed a lot in that life. 6, as you come closer, closer to the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel is drawing your attention more and more. There's a pull towards it. Any resistance that you notice right now, tell yourself that I'm willing, I'm ready. You can breathe into that resistance, you can breathe away that resistance. And continue, continue moving towards that light at the end of the tunnel. By the count of 1, when you dive deep into that light, jump into that light, it's like a leap. You'll be landing into a positive life. A lifetime where it has contributed for your growth and you made a lot of progress. 5, 4, 3, almost reaching to the very end of the tunnel. 3, 2, trust this process. Trust the first impression that you receive when you jump into that light. By the count of 1, 1, jump into that light. And first impression, first image, first scene that flashes into your mind screen, notice that. If you could see, what would you be seeing? If you could feel, what would you be feeling in that positive life? If you could experience in that positive life, what would you be experiencing in that positive life? Like you to be there, explore, experience, notice the details that lifetime. Slip inside the body of that past life. Notice your footwear that you're wearing. Feel your footwear. Notice your footwear. Are the feet of a male or feet of a female? What's the first impression that's coming to you? Notice your body. Are you strongly built, moderately built, or slim built? What's the color of the skin? Color of your hair? What's the color of your eyes? Completely embody that past life body. Look through the eyes of that past life body. Look through those eyes and look into the surroundings. Notice what kind of surroundings surround you. What kind of place is it? Which century do you belong? What's the name of the place? Just that first impression coming to you about that name of the place, the time period approximately. How old are you approximately? And as you tune more and more, as you stay inside that past life body, completely embodying that past life body of yours. There are many memories which can be accessed, something which is very pleasant, very positive that happened in that life, where you had talent or skill, you exhibited something which is very, very useful and helpful to you and others in that life. Completely trust the process. Allow yourself to know the details, what kind of home you're living in, what kind of architecture that's there, how these homes are built, what kind of people are around you, what kind of clothes, costumes they are wearing, details about your family, details about the nature of your work that you're doing, what kind of work that you're doing. These are just disjointed images. You can project this image on a big movie screen, the theater, and let it play out like a video animation. It's a story behind the story. It's a story of you, a lifetime where you made a significant progress. You had a talent and skill, knowledge, and gather as many details as possible as this movie of that life, story of that life unfolds in front of your eyes. Particularly move into that particular memory where you are experiencing that talent or skill, knowledge. What is that feeling experience of you when you are exhibiting, you are experiencing that talent and skill? Just feel it, experience it. If you could access that particular memory of that life with very positive, very important, what would be that positive memory of that life? The next few moments, I would like you to explore even any other significant details going to the very end of the life, the time when you are vacating the body of that life. Where you are hovering above your physical body of that past life. At this moment, you are going to watch that past life body as a consciousness, noticing it and appreciating all that what you have experienced in that past life. Make a review of that life now in this soul state of consciousness. A quick review of that life. like all the snapshots, all that movie story of that life, replay in front of your eyes. This beyond time, space, you can look at exactly that positive talent, knowledge, skill that you had. After reviewing as consciousness, I would like you to meet that past life self of you as a man or woman in that life. I'd like you to interact with past life self and saying that past life self, I'm very glad that I could meet you today, coming from the future times. You are my past self, and we're just going to embrace now, going to hug that past life self at this moment. Whatever the talent or skill or knowledge that you had in that life, let it join you, let it be completely merging and completely joining you. Whatever that helpful and useful for you in this current life, let the past life self merge into you with appreciation and gratitude to all the experiences of that past life. At this moment, even visualize, picturize that past life self, you completely blending, merging into your consciousness where it is entering into your heart as a beautiful ball of light. This ball of light reminds you of that talent and skill, the knowledge that you had, which will be distributed from your heart with the heart pumping mechanism to all the rest of the body parts and cells and your mind and your consciousness now. At this moment, as a soul, you can float free and journey to the time when you are in the spiritual realms, astral or causal or the higher realms, where you are with your guides and beings of light, whoever are they are, whether they are in a form or they're in a formless state, doesn't matter. You can just connect, tune into them, and as you tune into them and notice what they are whispering into your ears, what they're saying to you about that past life, about this current life. Receive any message that can be beneficial and helpful for your acceleration of your growth in this life, evolution in this life. Thank you to those beings of light, your spiritual guides. Carry the word, one single word from that guide, a positive word. When you come back, you're going to remember this word. It makes you remember the whole message which is transmitted into you, and also this word also makes you remember your past life, positive talent and skill that you had. This is the time now, a soul consciousness journey back and back through that same time tunnel, all the way back to the womb of your mother, through your current life childhood memories, going to make yourself grow with this positive talent and skill and this light, wisdom, light of knowledge. Make this child from 5 years grow up to 10 years, 15 years, 20, 25, 30, 35, and to all the way back to the current moment. Yes, completely returning to this moment. You're going to remember all that positive feeling, positive understanding that you gained, positive knowledge that you gained. Whatever that's not needed, you're going to completely leave it behind. It belongs to the past. Remembering that word, and right now, scan your body parts from head down to your feet. And take a nice deep inhalation and exhalation. And slowly exhaling. And completely returning to this present moment. Another deep breath. Exhale. Third deep breath. Completely returning to this present moment. Fully occupying this time, space, this moment, this body of yours. Slowly wiggle your toes and slowly move your body parts and rub your palms and then place them on your eyes for a few moments. Slowly and slowly and slowly open your eyes. Take your own time. With a smile, you may open your eyes. Remembering the word, remembering your experience. Take your own time. Wonderful friends, warm welcome. That's excellent. That's excellent. And I think we can take one or two sharings. I appreciate anyone. Briefly, you can
Thank you,
share.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful experience and blissful it was. We'll just select few of, as there is a time constraint. So
Yeah.
if you can just write your name in the chat box for sharing your experience, it would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, Reshma, please share your experience.
Hi, it's good evening. Am I
Good
audible?
evening. Yes, you're audible.
I think my video is also visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for this wonderful experience. It's what I experienced is like I couldn't go that much further, to be frank, but I see myself in some kind of Egyptian context. I was wearing a helmet kind of thing, and my face wasn't clear. Kind of mask was there put on me, and the thing only I felt was like I was touching things and I was understanding things. So that much only I couldn't get into more of it. And when I hugged, I could see my face instead of that mask. So, and yeah, that was it. But it was like after that, before when you said about the childhood experience, I couldn't even remember any one of the happy experience that I had, or like I think I believe that I didn't had. Maybe because, but while coming back, I could see me smiling and
Wow.
enjoying that childhood time and all. It was amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful, Reshmaji. I think this is called an experience of knowing about objects without any conscious kind of gathering the collecting the information. It is like more spiritual way of vibrationally collecting the information or connecting to the information. So like a clairsentience and
Um, to be I just want to share this. I always have felt like I mean this in this time I'm like I can feel things anywhere. Like
wow.
I but I don't know how I could happen. I know the texture and things, even I don't know. Like that's why I think that it's my wild imagination that I have crazy imagination or something. But I have that. I think I found that where it was. I was
Wow.
holding a lamp and understanding that the
Wow.
texture of that glass.
Mm.
I felt it. This time, I
Wow.
think that there I went back. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And sometimes I heard so many experiences people have when they go to some ancient places, for example, some ruins and ancient some kind of heritage centers, and they, they don't know about the history of that place, but they're able to really, really get the whole experience of it completely. They recall many memories about that place, and I think you carried that in your DNA, you in your blood, in your cells, body. You carried that. Thank you, Reshmaji. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
yeah.
the opportunity.
Welcome.
Sandeep ji, ask.
Yeah.
Vandan sir.
Nam- Namaskar, Atmavandan.
The same experience in no happy moments in while going from childhood,
Mm.
but I saw a lady being myself in my somewhere in past, happy, smiling lady.
Ah.
That's it, and it's a any foreign land. But before that, I saw Gandhi ji somewhere in an era, and after that, beyond that, I saw a lady standing. I think she was getting married or something, and after that, she was just looking back. She was smiling at me.
Yeah.
When while coming back, my the same like Reshma ma'am has told that childhood memory was very smiling and everything was like that.
Wow.
And one more thing, sir. just like Shabina ma'am was giving introduction of yours. I recall my 2 years back experience. I would just like to share with you
Yeah, please go
in
ahead.
in regard to Takshashila.
Mm,
We were sitting all family members, mom, dad, my wife, and me, doing meditation, and I just saw the some that heritage of Takshashila pillars and all everything. Was not knowing what is that, which place it is. We saw a tree beneath that sitting a sadhu doing meditation. When we came out from meditation, I just shared my experience to my wife, and I just suddenly from my mouth it came that it was, I think it's Takshashila, and I just Google the image. I saw the same picture that I saw in my experience.
wow.
And at present, from last 2 months, we are just we're discussing to connect with you, and we just got an opportunity to connect with you. Because from last 2 months, I'm going something like anxiety and thing like,
Mhm. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
panic attack.
Thank you. Panic
Something,
attack. Okay. Yeah. Uh, I think as you mentioned about the childhood memories, while regressing into the childhood, you could not recall any positive present memories. But now something when you are now coming back from your past life experience, you start smiling, while coming back. So there's something that can be always brought into our childhood memories, even though it is not that way. It's not that we have really experienced something very, very pleasant in the past. Mostly, it could be very stressful childhood, particularly when we carry these imprints from our childhood. It has such an effect because these conflicts that are generated in us, they generate this kind of states like panic disorder and anxiety disorders, and the possibility that gets cured with your therapists who are working with you, who are helping you, and also your own meditation practice can really, really help you a lot.
actually going through meditation only, and
Yeah,
with the medicines are going on.
yeah.
Last 1 week, everything is just I'm going back after meditation or being in meditation in my childhood, and actually it's about fear of disease,
Mhm.
fear of heart, something like all these are going on in my mind.
Yeah,
Due to which, so, due to meditation, it is getting me very much clear that in my childhood or somewhere I'm going slowly back.
yeah. So whenever such thoughts are coming, and just you can notice them. The best part of noticing, becoming more aware, is you're watching without getting identified with that thought. I tell you one analogy, one example. For example, you are in your home, your door of the home is open, and if you're asleep, you're not observing, you are sleeping, any thief can enter, right? But if you are awake, alert, and aware, watching, no thief can enter. Even many thieves like these thoughts, fearful thoughts, scary thoughts. Oh, I might get this cancer, I might get this virus, this illness, this many thoughts. So it affects us. But when you are cultivating that awareness, that watchfulness, that witnessing consciousness, it's worth it. And really, no thief can enter into our mind, and that's a really powerful tool. Meditation really helps a lot in that sense. Very good. Nice meeting, Sandeep ji.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Welcome. Thank you. So,
Okay,
friends,
so yeah, we'll take more. But before that, a closing remark by our president,
yeah.
Dr. K.D. Deshpande, sir. Yes, sir. You're on mute.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, please put your queries in the comment box or the chat box so we can address it.
So,
Yes.
thank you. Really great, Dr. Newton. We have been very much benefited by this session. It was a science of past life regression. Actually, it gave us a very much input, very interesting, impressive, and informative. And that was a great thing. And you have put in such a nice way that even giving case studies and all these things had given much insight into the subject. And particularly that 5 sutras of PLR is very much interesting. With the example what you have given was very interesting. Demo was very nice. And really, we are very much benefited. I think everybody is other benefited to get input by this PLR. And thank you very much. Over to Shabina.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. So we'll just check the queries in the chat box.
Okay. So I experienced so many faces around me, but couldn't recognize a single and searching myself within the faces. Sometimes.
Can we arrange your session at Nagpur like that?
Why not, sir? Definitely. It's possible.
Okay.
And we will definitely. We used to come to Nagpur and Maharashtra very frequently.
Okay. That's great.
Pune,
So we'll take
Nagpur.
some opportunity to have your. Definitely, we'll have a talk and get
Sure.
together.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really great.
And
Shabina,
thanks. Any queries
Shabina?
you can also send in email to Dr. Shabina or to QLU. The email IDs are available. Any kind of sharings that you can do also like that. We'll be responding to your emails. Appreciate all that efforts that went in organizing this event online. Dr. Shabina, thank you for invitation, and thanks to
so for the one-of-one session, there is a link given of QLU. You can just join the channel and you'll get all the updates over there. And this session would be is recorded and would be uploaded on YouTube. Just taking a one moment. In 2020, I met Dr. Newton, sir. I had a fear from childhood of darkness. After meeting him, after attending his sessions, my fear has totally vanished. So this is the power of his healing. So thank you, sir. And thank you so much for sharing your pearls of wisdom. It was awesome, wonderful, superb session. So before we proceed to end, I would request our Vice President, Ms. Anushka Karira ma'am, to please propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Anushka ma'am.
Okay, so am I audible, audience?
Yeah, ma'am.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, loud and clear.
First of all, a very good evening, sir. Though I joined late, but then I am really feeling very lucky to be able to join. And I am a great fan of yours, Dr. Newton. I have been watching your videos. During COVID, my favorite knowledge enhancement sessions were, yours in the list. You were the top on the list for attending your sessions. And it has really helped me in my own practice as a therapist. And I would really, really like to thank on behalf of the entire ACPN team for taking out time for all of us, and not only for all of us, but for all the participants, our clients, who have really always desired to gain an experience into what is past life regression, because this is a very unconventional therapy and it needs a lot of awareness. And when it comes from people like you, from the horse's mouth, it is really, really a blessing for all of us. So thank you once again a lot. I would like to also thank the team. Especially, it would be unfair if I don't take name of Shridevi ma'am. She has, I have read a lot about her also. She has always been very close to you in the growth in the PLR as such, the therapy sessions that you've taken, and thank you. Please convey our gratitude to her as well. And Rajshekhar sir also, he has always also been great in healing. I would also like to thank Vijaya Shekhar ma'am for coordinating all this. I mean, admitting people very selectively and being able to give a chance to the people who really wanted to attend. All the ACPN viewers, thank you once again for joining this session. It is a privilege for all of us to be able to be a part of this meeting. And all the other participants who have been able to join, once again, gratitude to all the people present here. And once again, Dr. Newton, my heartfelt gratitude to you. So thank you so much. Would like to see you in person very soon, as Dr. Deshpande has shared. So please give us that privilege to meet you in person as well.
Yes, Anushka ji, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful
Go
vote
to
of
Dr.
thanks.
Shabina. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. And yeah, please just copy the link of the channel of QLU. And yes, we need to end this session. So thank you, sir. It was a privilege for me to being the coordinator in the session of yours. So it's really great for me, a great day for me. So gratitude, sir. And everyone, thank you. So with the permission of the chair, I end the session. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. And bye, everyone. Take care. I would like to thank Harika, ma'am. She was there admitting everyone. So sorry. Harika Suri, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you so much. My privilege.
All right. Thank you from my side also, Harika. Thank you. Sorry, I